So for this problem, we are doing a chi-square test for independence. And we know it's a chi-square test for independence because we're trying to see if there is an association between age group and whether or not a person consumes 5 or more servings of fruits and vegetables per day for adults in the U.S. So for this chi-square test for independence, our null hypothesis is that there is no association between age group and whether or not a person consumes 5 or more servings of fruits and vegetables per day for U.S. adults. Our alternative hypothesis is that there is an association between age group and whether or not a person consumes 5 or more servings of fruits and vegetables per day for U.S. adults. So we are told that it is a random sample of 8,866 adults in the description. And we are also, and I calculated my expected counts. To calculate my expected counts, I multiplied the total of the age group 1834, 972, times the total of people who said yes, of adults who said yes, 2,191. And then I divided that by our total adults in the sample, which is 8,866. And so I did that for each category of yes, and I got 240.2, 719.4, and 1,231.4. And I did that also for no. So all I did to change that was take the total. I did take the total of the age group of 1834, which was 972, and I multiplied that by the total of amount of adults who said no, which is 6,675, and then I divided that by the total of adults in the sample, which is 8,866, and I got 731.8. 2,191.6 and 3,751.6, and so that's how I got my expected counts. And also part of our assumptions, so yeah, we know it's a random sample of 8,866 adults, and all the expected counts are greater than or equal to 5, so we can proceed with caution. So for x, so we named the test, it's x squared, it's chi-square test for independence. And so I actually did mine on the calculator, and so but the formula to get chi-squared would be the sum of the observed values minus the expected values squared over the expected values, or you can just do it on the calculator like I did and make a matrix. And we know this is a 3 by 2 table because we have 3 rows and 2 columns. And so I made a matrix. And so I put the observed values in the matrix, and that way I calculated, I did the chi-square test, so stat and so yeah, our chi-squared value is 8.98 and our p-value is 0.011 and our degrees of freedom is 2. And so you can also calculate the degrees of freedom by r minus 1, which is the amount of rows. We have 3 rows, so 3 minus 1 will give us 2, and then that'll be times c minus 1, which is columns, and we have 2 columns, so 2 minus 1, so 2 times 1 equals 2, so that also is another way you can get your degrees of freedom by hand. And so so I said I use the alpha level 0.01 because I think, you want to eat healthy. That's important. You got to eat fruits and vegetables. I don't think it deserves a 0.05 alpha level. So I used the alpha level of 0.01. So in my case, I accepted the null hypothesis because 0.011, and it's close to 0.01. It's close, but it's actually a little 0.001 greater. So it's 0.011 as compared to my alpha level 0.01. So since the p-value is of 0.011, that's 0.1, but 0.011 is greater than alpha at 0.01, that should say alpha at 0.01, we will accept the null hypothesis because it's greater. There is not a convincing evidence that there is an association between age group and whether or not a person consumes 5 or more fruits and vegetables per day for adults in the United States.